Joining me here on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line is one of the crucial members of the Green Bay Packers offense, and certainly of that backfield. He has been dynamite in his second year in the National Football League, out of Boston College. Green Bay Packers running back AJ Dillon here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, sir?
How you doing? Doing very well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. I don't know how to start with you. All right, let's go right into the overalls. What the hell was that? Were you not cold with the overalls after the game? Let's just jump right in.
It was definitely cold out there. I'm not going to be that guy who's like, oh, the cold's a mindset.
Yeah.
But after you've been out there for a long enough time, it all does kind of feel the same. And at that point, I had to represent. I'm always talking about being a Wisconsinite or a Scan, as some would call it. So it was only right I go out there and represent.
That's a choice. I'll be honest with you. Don't you think? That's a choice, what you did. So walk me through the process. Did you know? I know you went out on the post-game show after beating the Vikings right here on Peacock, as a matter of fact, in your overalls. Would they just hang in there? You're like, screw it, I'll just run out there in this right now? Walk me through the process.
It's actually what I wore pregame.
Oh.
So I wore it walking in the locker room. It's just kind of, I really thought they embodied that work pail mentality. I just kind of wanted to, everybody was talking about, it's going to be physical, it's going to be a gritty game. And that's just kind of, the mentality I had. So it was for the mentality for me, just kind of getting myself into that idea. And it was also funny. And then, I was like, hey, you started with it, you got to finish with it. So here we go, back outside in the overalls.
Well, I mean, in a way, that's the way you finish it for the Green Bay Packers these days. Like you seem to be in the role in certain ways of finisher. Has that been discussed with you, that, protecting leads, finishing things off, rolling you downhill, getting first downs, taking time off the clock, and putting a W on the board, A.J. Dillon?
It's definitely something I take a lot of pride in. When you get the ball in your hands as a running back, or honestly any position, but that late in the game, and you kind of know the situations to, keep control of the ball, keep control of the game. It is a lot of confidence knowing that your teammates, obviously 12 and the coaches and staff and everybody believes that, you can get the job done and do it at a high level. So, I do look at those opportunities where I'm out there closing, as you say, or finishing as a big sign of respect, like they, know I can get the job done. So, it's cool. Just always trying to find my role and help out the team as much as possible.
And in terms of 12 and finding your role in 12, obviously referring to your quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, I kind of want to dive into this a little bit with you, A.J. Dillon, because lost amongst all the hoopla about Jordan Love's drafting and what that meant, if you will, was the fact that you were also drafted. And the conversation was, why take him too? That, and I'm wondering, how did you take that conversation that was being had nationally about your drafting? Because, there was another Aaron there too. And it's just like, well, how does that help out the 12 Aaron by taking a quarterback and then taking somebody else at the running back position when there's Aaron Jones there? How did you handle all that, A.J. Dillon?
Obviously I saw, I did see everything. And, I'm the type of person, like, I do, like, read through, like, the media and things that people say. But I just like to read it just because I like to see what's going on. But neither, the good stuff nor the bad stuff is ever anything that gets me off of, like, my even keel. But I just like to see what people say. And, I was kind of like, hey, like, I understood it. To be honest. I hadn't been seen as much as a pass catcher. And in this offense as a running back, you do have to be able to play all three phases of running back. You need to be able to catch, you need to be able to run the ball, obviously, and you also need to be able to protect. We got the greatest quarterback to, ever play the game, so you got to keep him up. And so just that, I understood it, but, for me it was just another challenge, to come in here, to continue working, continue to, build my skills, and like I said, find that role, find where I can help out the team. And, last year, it was few and far between, but then when I did get the opportunity to try to make the most of it, a lot on special teams. And then this year, as the season's progressed, when my number has been called, I've, really been trying to, show up as much as I can. There's still a lot of growth and still a lot of things I'm trying to get better at, but, I'm happy with the progress. That's overall, progress is what I'm most proud of, and just continuing that.
Well, you should be. Progress has been remarkable. And so did you get a heads up, a conversation that your number was going to be called more, or were you just like realizing middle of a game, my number's getting called a heck of a lot more? How did that work for you?
I mean, there is. I obviously, Jamal is not here this year, so last year I was behind Aaron and Jamal. So there was coming into this offseason, there was kind of, the notion that, I'd fill in that 2 role, but you can never assume anything. I mean, we got a very talented running back room. Obviously, Kylan Hill's hurt right now, but he's an exceptional running back, as well as Patrick Taylor, exceptional guys and great to be around. So we got a lot of talent in our room, and the good thing about it is we all have that iron sharpens iron mentality. We're really close in there, and it's really a brotherhood. So it's a great environment to work and grow off of. And Aaron Jones has been like a big brother, has taken me under his wing since the second I got here. So he's been remarkable in all that growth process I was talking about.
I love that kid, man. And I know you're another kid, but so I'm referring to him, even though he might be a little bit more of an OG in a way to you. But Aaron Jones, I got to meet him. He came in this studio a couple of years ago. I just love his energy. I love his story. I love his essence. And then, I mentioned his name to 12, Aaron Rodgers, when he was on the show last year, and he gushed about him. I'm wondering how Rodgers has helped you with your role and growing into it and your confidence level. How has he been there on that front for you as a teammate?
I mean, the stuff, it's honestly just really a humbling experience to kind of, obviously, as far as I've been watching football, for as long as I've been watching football seriously, Aaron Rodgers has always been in the NFL and always been, one of the best to play the game. So I'm now obviously having the chance to be on the same team, go out there to battle with him and, learn from him. And he's always given me a little bit of nuggets here and there, things I can take, things I can work in my game.
Like what? You got one? You got one for me?
So, yeah. I mean, just little things like in my routes, just kind of how to come out of them, how to break the certain way, and get my hands ready for the ball. Because a lot of times on those checkdowns, if you are going to get the ball, like it's going to be coming to you by the time you're done going through your reads and looking around. You got to be prepared. Or running the ball, just chasing my aim points, trying to predetermine everything, just trusting that the guys in front of you are going to do their job. And so I think, obviously he's helped me a lot with the X's and O's and things, but the one thing I would say overall is he's definitely helped me a lot with my confidence because there are a lot of things that I hadn't done at BC that I'm asked to do now. And going out there and working with him and, every once in a while, when I do something, well or something, he probably sees that I've really been working at and, I get it right, I get that little nod. And that's it. It's not anything crazy, but I get a little nod. And for me, that's like, hey, all that hard work, that stuff you've been doing, that studying you've been doing, there you go. You got it done. So those little things. And, I try to pay attention when he's talking to receivers, and I try to take what he can, anything from there or anything from the lineman, just anything. But, it's really great to, have 12 out there and be around him, and he's just a wealth of knowledge.
I don't understand, AJ, because, again, you said you pay attention to things that are being said outside the locker room. I thought he's supposed to be a jerk, and thus he's not the MVP, AJ. Yeah. I thought that's supposed to be the case. I'm kind of confused with what you're telling me right now.
Yeah. A lot of people hate greatness, man. Just what it is.
Well, I mean, he was talking about the off-season stuff, about the fans. I mean, again, this is an MVP voter. We're saying he's not voting for Rodgers. How did that one sit in the locker room? I know Rodgers personally responded, but I'm just wondering how that all sat with you and your teammates.
We didn't really talk about it. We just kind of focus on the task at hand, just going out. Obviously, this week we got Detroit. Mm-hmm. I'm sure everybody has their own opinions, but nobody made any. We know who 12 is. We know what he stands for. And we know he's a great leader and a great teammate, and we all love him and support him.
Well, again, I guess then the question is then from that perspective, is that the idea again? This voter this is an actual voter for the MVP, talking about the fact that he wasn't available during the non-playing season when you're all going through your OTAs and things of that nature. And then, of course, what happened during the playing season as well, missing that game and so on and so forth with his inoculation or what have you, that he doesn't makes him a poor guy and teammate and MVP. That's so I'm asking an actual teammate who's been there on the ground about all that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, everybody has their own, kind of things that they go through, in the off season, things like that. When 12 is here, everybody on this team will absolutely say he's a phenomenal teammate and a phenomenal leader. And there's nobody, in my mind, that's more deserving of the MVP. Besides the numbers, the things he does, the little things that don't show up in the stat book, he's the best to do it. And, it's crazy. My 2 years in the NFL, he's been playing at such a high level, and it's so cool to see and be a part of. So.
Yeah, maybe it's you, by the way. Maybe it's you, AJ. You know what I mean? Honestly.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
I've got AJ Dillon for a couple more minutes here from the Green Bay Packers. I've never really asked anybody this, but I've seen, you work in your photographs in practice. What is your leg day like? What's AJ Dillon's leg day? What's that?
It used to be a lot more intense. Going back to high school and early college when everybody's just trying to kind of show off and lift as much weights as you can. I'd do what now would be looked at so poorly upon. I'd probably squat and deadlift and lunge all on the same day and just try to load up the bar. But now it's just about obviously the quads and the legs are big, but
yes,
got to get them moving fast. Got to get them moving fast as well.
No, I understand that, but I mean, like, what? So what's the quad right now? Oh, what's the quad size right now? What do we got? So,
we'll get some. We'll start off with some squats, and then then we'll get some movement in, and we'll get some side lunges, some stuff like that. Maybe some band work.
Okay.
Get some flexibility in there, and then roll them out at the end. Make sure they're not too tired.
I just cramped in the middle of that sentence, by the way. Oh, my gosh. All right, Brockman, go ahead and ask him your question and send him on down the line here. Go for Chris Brockman, my compadre here.
So I know you're super into sports cards. I've seen you pop up in the IG Lives on a bunch of breaks. What do you love about the hobby? Who are you collecting other than yourself? And have you gotten anyone else in the locker room involved?
Okay. I'm going to start with your last question and then work back. But, so I have obviously I got into the hobby this off season, and I was just kind of finishing up what I was signing for Panini my rookie deal, and I tried to get like Jordan Love, that is, and I told some of the running backs. So Aaron Jones has collected some cards. I know that for sure. I know like Aaron Rodgers. I was telling him about it a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, hey, like keep some of those rookie cards now. Don't just give them all out there. But I love the hobby. I love just kind of the fandom of it. I'm a big collector, and I like kind of collecting that memorabilia. And for me, what makes it really cool is, now that I am a player, just being able to interact with everybody. I do live breaks. I'll go on the Loop app, and so in the off season I'll be doing a lot more. Obviously, it's hard to do in the season, but I'll get a bunch of boxes of cards and I'll rip them open and I'll send them out to fans myself and get the shipping labels and all that. But it's just so cool I love to interact with the fans as much as I can, and that's something that obviously I know football, I know the cards, and I know how much it means to obviously the people on the other end because I collect myself.
Yeah, what's the biggest one you've pulled in a break?
What do you got?
So I got in a break. I mean, not for myself, but breaking for other people. I pulled some one-on-ones. We pulled a one-on-one Joe Burrow rookie before this season. A bunch of Herbert cards. There were the best one I got. It was a Joe Burrow, Tua, and a Justin Herbert. It was a booklet I don't think it was National Treasures, but it was a booklet of all of them with a jersey patch, and I think it was out of like 10. I think it was 10 out of 10, so eBay 101. So that one was awesome. I got some good ones. People I collect, obviously Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Otani.
Man, that's got to be good. Do you have an Aaron Rodgers rookie card? How much is that one? What do you got?
I don't have any. I have some. I'm working up the courage to ask him.
Do it here. Do it here. Let's use this moment to ask him. Right? I mean, let's do it. Let's do it.
Bring the phone in the locker room. Hey, can you?
No. Right here. Well, it gets posted. It gets clanked around.
He'll see it.
We follow each other on Twitter. I mean, so you you want him to sign the rookie card, right? Clearly, right?
Yeah. At some point, I'm a big collector, so I've had Randall Cobb sign some, and I'm not selling them. I just hold them. I keep them, and at some point, I don't want to seem too much like a fangirl now, but.
AJ, here's when we do it. Here's when we do it. You score the next touchdown to win a playoff game or something like that, knock on wood for you. In the middle of the celebration, you say to him, hey, would you mind signing my Aaron Rodgers rookie card? Right there in the heat of the moment, because what's he going to say no to you? You just scored for him and the team. He will never say no to that.
I'll just hide it under the goalpost.
Something. Honestly, you have to wait for the moment where he would never. He would never turn you down anyway. But I think
it's all about the moment.
Yeah. You got to pick your spot.
Pick your spot.
You've been doing that very well lately. I'll be very honest with you. So you did with the overalls. Hey, AJ Dillon, thanks for the call. Let's do this more often. I really appreciate it. And good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. And also, Jonesy told me to say hello.
Oh, tell him right back.
Yeah.
Tell him right back. Showtime. Absolutely. He's one of my favorites. Thanks for the call, AJ Dillon. At AJ Dillon 7 on Twitter, at AJ Dillon 2 on Instagram, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.